My name's Rick Ibaseta. I grew up in San Francisco, Excelsior, and the Sunset District. And I started skateboarding probably at the age of 5 or 6, but really getting into it around the 7th grade. Yeah, around that time. It was different because of the hills. That was not an option in every city, and it was one thing that skaters from San Francisco had that people from maybe LA or Sacramento or somewhere suburban didn't really have. In the city, you have neighborhoods with just completely different terrain than any other city. I mean, it was practically made for skateboarding. But it took a person to see that, a skateboarder to kind of see that and find it, you know, like, and it took the people before us to show us how to find it. We had to search for these things. Like, we heard of a pool in Hayes Valley, been buried, didn't know where it was. We heard of quarter pipes on a rooftop bunker by the beach, which turned out to be Fort Miley. We had the fountain at the Legion of Honors, not the one that's there now. There was one that was there before that they would empty, and it had just loose enough transitions on the inside that you could launch off of it and do rollouts and stuff. So that was like our little intro to kind of pools in a way. We heard stories of the casting ponds. We heard of a place called China Banks. It's like just the way it was, how it was built, the danger involved to fall into the street on the other side. It's really, man, it just calls you. And on the way there, we would pass Brown Marble. We would pass the awesome curbs of Sansom and Battery. There's always marble things to just kind of roll and feel like you're not grinding, but you are. So my crew growing up was Mike Carroll, Greg Carroll, and myself, and they were from Daly City. And there was a crew, I call them the Richmond kids, like the who lived in the Richmond district. And this was Javante Turner, Phil Chen, Stuart Way, this kid, Luis, and this other kid, Ray McKeno. So these guys were absolutely, and Scotty Potty, Scott Thompson from Mission Skate Shop. That was like a crew, and they're like the best kids in San Francisco. Like those dudes were like advanced. We'd meet on, I don't know, Saturdays or Sundays. We'd start at Fort Miley, and then we'd skate all the way down to Embarcadero and hit everything in between. So you would go down into like the Richmond district, hit those little curb cuts and driveway ledges. Same thing all the way through Pacific Heights, bomb those hills, get through Van Ness, and then you're in Chinatown. And then you're down, like from there you're at Embarcadero, and it was perfect. I mean, it'll always progress, it'll always be here, it's never gonna go anywhere, but I would like to see, just like, instead of like large skate parks, I would like to see little bits, like just like little things on a path that can get you from one end of the city to another. I think that's where it's gonna go.